All right, y'all. So today what we're doing is driving for dollars with my man Tyler right here. Tyler is a new apprentice, and we just driving around looking for some houses. I'm gonna show y'all how driving for dollars actually works. For those of you who don't know what driving for dollars is, it's basically driving around neighborhoods looking for houses that give evidence that maybe it's vacant or something like that. You want to take down the addresses and find the seller. We spoke about skip tracing and things like that in previous videos. So today we're gonna find some houses, and I'm gonna show y'all how easy it is to get started. If you don't have any money right now, this is one of the best ways to start finding leads. Basically, all you need to do when it comes to driving for dollars is find a farming area, which 9 times out of 10 is going to be the area where investors are already buying. All right, so you should know that. If you don't know that, you got to find out where the investors are buying. How do you find out where the investors are buying? Ask other investors. There's We Buy Houses signs all on the roads. Call up those signs and let them know, look, I'm brand new to this. You know, I'm new in the area. How can I find out more information on where the investors are buying? Where are you currently buying? Once you find your farming area, just go to Google and print out a map of the farming area and get a highlighter, circle the boundaries, and then start driving. That's all you got to do. So that's what we're doing today. And once you find some properties, you know, something like this right here, if you slow down for a minute, this is a good one right here because, I mean, somebody lives in here, but it needs some work on the outside, right? This is probably not the ideal property, but this is a decent one, but it's not in terrible shape. It takes a little bit of work, but in this business, you got to remember, you're either going to invest time or you're going to invest money in this business. If you don't have any money, you got to invest the time, right? But you're going to sacrifice something. Driving around, if you see any houses with like stickers on it, like on the doors, like yellow stickers from like the cities, code violations and stuff like that, maybe pink slips, you definitely want to take those down. If you see properties with newspaper piled up in the front, if you see tall grass, that would be the ideal type of property. I personally don't like to look at houses on busy streets. I like nice residential areas like this. This is not an upscale area, and it's not a D-class area. You know what I mean? So it's more like a B and C class, like a middle class type of area where, you know, you could find some older homes. You know, pick an area where, you know, the house is about 30 years old. Yeah, that's definitely vacant. So we could tell this one right here, this may not be the ideal property, but this may be somebody else's investment property, but this house is vacant. It may be a rental property. It looks to be a rental property for somebody else. I could tell it's vacant because no curtains on the window. We could look right into the house. The roof is not too bad, but if you look at the corner, you see the corner over there? Right above the front door? That's kind of shabby right there. So whoever did that did a bad job. But let's drive up a little bit. Let me see something. This gate right here look like it's coming down some. Yeah, I would take down this address. Somebody got a truck back there. This is probably somebody's investment property. That's what I'm thinking.
If you're approaching a house and somebody still lives there, do you try to get them to move out? How do you do that?
Yeah, so basically, when we let's say we find a house in this area and somebody lived there. Let's say the homeowner lives there, but the house needs work. Sometimes the homeowner, that's actually a pretty good situation for you to be able to contact the homeowner, because sometimes the homeowner, they don't have the money to repair the house.
Yeah.
So if you offer them cash, and I just had a deal like that, we just made $13,000 on. The owner lived in the house. She didn't have the money to fix the house. So all she wanted to do was cash out. We ended up letting her stay there, and she's renting the house from us now. You know, sometimes you can work it out to where you can just offer the homeowner cash, but now you own the house and they rent the house from you. Or sometimes they just want to move. They don't want to live in that type of house anymore. There's no reason you can't do it. You just got to be willing to put in the work, man. You might have it a little harder, you know, than other people, but that's why you got to work 10 times harder. You know, and once you make a name for yourself, man, the deals just come. That's just how it is. You know, well, this is the best business in the world, man, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, if you put in the work, what you put into it, you will get back tenfold. You just gotta be willing to wait it out and be consistent. Really, the consistency is the game changer. Say you set yourself a marketing budget to do some marketing to drive leads. If you set the marketing budget for, let's say, $500 a month, give it at least 6 months, right? We want to turn up one of these streets here. Okay. But give yourself a chance. You can't send out, I see a lot of people do this. They send out the marketing campaign one time and say, oh, it didn't work. First of all, how do you expect the marketing campaign to work if you didn't give it enough time? You got to build a relationship. You're contacting people who don't know you. So you got to build a relationship with them. They got to see your message multiple times. You know, at least 6 times. I'm not saying that it's going to take 6 touches to get a deal, but you got to be realistic. You got to be willing to invest. Most people spend money on nonsense rather than investing into their business, and they complain they don't got the money for the business. So you see this one right here is a good one. You got stuff on the front of the house. Yeah. The house needs work, man. You just look around, you can tell it needs work. This is like the perfect type of house that you want to be looking at. It needs pressure washing. It really needs new siding. You know what I mean? You're not necessarily looking for a hood house. Yeah. You're looking for a decent house in a nice neighborhood. So like this type of house in this area is not too bad, right? This might be a good one to look at. And on top of that, you know, if you could find this type of house in a nicer area, then you got gold. Yeah. That's gold right there, right? So you just wanna keep that in mind. On the side, you got a abandoned trailer. The front door is open and nobody's in there. You know, I'm not gonna trespass or nothing. Like, we're already trespassing, but I'm just looking in the windows here.
See, they got a
this place is empty. Nobody live here. Look at this. But yeah, look at this. I'm not gonna go in because, you know, for obvious reasons, but this is definitely an address we want to take down. This is gold right here. We could be able to do something with this. So guys, if you like videos like this, you know, we spending some time driving for dollars. We found a couple of good ones. You just saw one with the front door wide open. That's definitely one that we're gonna contact and get in contact with that owner as soon as possible. If you like videos like this, comment in the section below. Let me know what's on your mind. If you have any questions regarding driving for dollars or anything else, let me know. I'll be happy to answer your questions in the comment section. I'll talk to y'all in the next one.